Welcome to Say It With Roz. Today I want to talk about why I still like Kevin Samuels. As I'm sure most of you know, Mr. Samuels passed away maybe a couple of years ago. At least a year and a half or so ago, maybe two, I'm not exactly sure. But I know a lot of people didn't like him. You know, a lot of women thought he was against them, you know, especially black women. You know, they thought that he was not for them, you know. But I don't see it that way at all. And, you know, I didn't really look at a lot of Kevin Samuels videos when he was alive. I just looked at maybe 3 or 4, and I really did like, you know, what he was saying. I mean, I agreed with a lot of the things he was saying. And I actually did a little video, you know, saying why I like Kevin Samuels, you know. But recently, I don't know, for some reason his videos, you know, were coming up in my Facebook feed, and I started watching him again, you know, and I like him even more now that I've, you know, watched a lot of his videos, because I believe Mr. Samuels really did care, you know, and he really was trying to help. And he told the truth. He told the truth. You know, whether everybody liked it or not, I believe he told the truth. And no one likes it when the truth hurts, right? But you know, a lot of, you know, he spoke in general terms, you know. For instance, when he said that women, after they got to a certain age, you know, if they weren't married, if they didn't have a husband by then, they might as, you know, they're done. They might as well just buy a dog and prepare to die alone, you know. So I'm sure he knew there would be exceptions, you know, to that. But generally speaking, women of a certain age will most likely not, you know, find love and marriage, you know, and they will end up dying alone. I mean, that's just the truth, right? So he really was just trying to get women to see reality, you know, to see what they were actually up against, you know, when it comes to finding, you know, that person they want to spend the rest of their lives with, you know. And he told them, you know, how a lot of men looked at things, you know. So I don't understand some of the hatred that some of the women, you know, expressed towards him. I mean, some of them were even glad, you know, that he passed away, you know, which is terrible in my opinion. But I really and truly believe that Kevin Samuels cared about the women and he was trying to help them. Now, I married my third husband. Yes, I've been married 3 times, unfortunately. But, yes, I married my third husband when I was a couple of months from being 63 years old, okay? So I was 62. And my husband was 70. And he had never been married before, you know. We've now been married for 10 years. And I had been single for quite a while between my second and my third marriage. You know, 15 or so years, you know. So, and I actually had faced the fact that I might never, you know, find someone, you know, to spend the rest of my life with. And I was prepared, you know, to live alone, you know, and to die alone, you know. It wasn't what I preferred. One thing about me, I never was ashamed or scared to say that I preferred, you know, to be married. So, but, you know, the years just kept going by, and I mean, and a lot of you older ladies know that as the years pass, you know, we get less and less pretty, you know, we're not as pretty as we used to be, you know, and, you know, and attention starts to wane, so, you know, and everybody's not going to get a husband. You know, I think that was one of the things that Mr. Samuels was trying to get across to the ladies, and that if you weren't going to get a husband, you were going to need a certain amount of money, you know, to live the rest of your life comfortably, you know, or decently, you know, and are you prepared for that, you know? So, anyway, like I said, though, you know, I spent a lot of years, you know, single. But fortunately, I was able to take care of myself, you know. I worked on a job for 30 years, you know, pretty good job. Wasn't a millionaire or anything, you know, when I retired, but it was okay, you know. And I had my own home and stuff like that, you know. So I didn't have those kinds of issues. But there were times when I was lonely, you know, and I did want to be with someone, you know. And I was a homebody, so, you know, I wasn't really out there, you know, mingling amongst people so that I could possibly meet someone. So, you know, and nobody was beating down my door, you know, to get to me. So, I you know, just kind of resolved that I might be by myself the rest of my life, you know. So, and I think that's what Mr. Samuels was trying to prepare some of these women for, you know. You know, that instead of making their careers, you know, their number one priority, there's nothing wrong with having a career, you know, or a good job. But you shouldn't put that before, finding a husband, do it when you're young, but a lot of women, they want to be independent and do their thing, until they're 30 or 40, but by that time, there's a whole new crew of young, beautiful, fresh ladies on the scene, that you got to compete with, so anyway, Kevin Samuels was warning women about the danger zone, He tried to encourage the women, to understand what it meant to really be a wife, because most of these women, they said that they, wanted to get married, wanted to have children, so, Mr. Samuels was trying to encourage women to seek their husbands when they were young. And one of the things I really like about him was he was adamant about telling the women not to have children before they were married, There were so many women that he interviewed that had children, and they were not married, still were not married, Some had children, by 2, 3, 4, 5 men, And so he was trying to tell them the importance of not doing that, because it seemed like some of the women were okay more with having children out of wedlock than getting married. So, go figure, I don't know, So, you don't have to agree with everything that Kevin Samuels, said. But I think it would be to really every woman's advantage to listen to what he had to say, the advice he freely gave, out there on social media, as he talked with these women. And, everything's not going to apply to you, a specific person, because like I said, he really talked in general terms, just, on the average, this is what happens. There are always exceptions, I'm an exception, because like I said, I got married when I was 62. According to Mr. Samuels, I should have just been sitting in my rocking chair petting my dog, So, but I think if you take some of his advice, keep an open mind, take what you find useful for you, you will better your chances of being one of the women that do find a lifetime partner, someone that's going to marry them, not just someone who's going to date them or take them to bed, someone that will actually marry them, and make them a wife, So, Mr. Samuels was really trying to help women face reality and to be prepared to deal with it, whichever way it came. you know. So, the more of his videos that I have watched, because I didn't pick up on this before, because like I said, I didn't watch very many of his videos, you know. But I can see that he really cared. He was really trying to help these women, you know. And, yes, he could be harsh. He could cuss you out, yes. But you know what? I think most, if not all of those women that he talked harshly to, you know, or clicked them off of his show or whatever, they deserved it. They really did. You know, either they were talking crazy or and so many of them, man, you could hardly get a straight answer out of them. I was really embarrassed for women, you know. I was like, gosh, you know, can't you say yes or no? Or anyway, he really did care. And yes, he was making money at what he was doing, but in my opinion, he earned it. He earned it, you know. He earned it. So, I just want to recommend that you check out his channel, you know, on YouTube. You know, all of his videos are still out there. He left a treasure trove of wisdom and warnings, in my opinion, you know. And don't listen to what someone else has told you about Kevin Samuels, you know. Go out there and check his videos out for yourself, you know. And you might not agree with everything he says, you know, but I think he has a lot of good points, you know, that would be beneficial to pay attention to, okay? So, and remember, ladies, now there are not enough men to go around, you know. So, somebody's going to be left out, or you're going to be sharing a man or something, you know. So, the more information you, you know, can gather and apply, you know, to help you get that husband, you know, the better. So, I would check him out. I would check Kevin Samuels out. And, maybe you'll be lucky and get you that good husband. Now remember too, ladies, you gotta have something to bring to the table too, and it's got to be more than your pretty face, you know, and your fine body, okay? It's gotta be more than that, you know. And Kevin Samuels can give you some insight on that as well, you know. And just listen to some of what some of these men are saying out here. It's tough out here now, though. Well, I'm glad I'm not out here looking, because it kind of seems like in some cases the men are against the women and the women are against the men, you know. And I don't know, you know, it's tough. But listening to Kevin Samuels might help. Might give you a little help. Anyway, I just want to say rest in peace, Mr. Samuels. So sorry that he passed away so soon. And thank you for leaving so many great nuggets of wisdom. Yes, thank you, Mr. Samuels. That's all I have to say. Over and out.